Welcome to today's episode of TransformHer, the show where we ignite audacity and break barriers, equipping African women with practical insights and tangible resources for their journey to the C-suite or in entrepreneurship. On today's episode, we're discussing the very important topic of beauty. Yes, it's very important as a female leader that you are mindful of beauty. But today we're going to do something different. We are going to talk about the deeper aspects of beauty, embracing diversity and sustainability in beauty and in beauty businesses. And we'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back. In today's episode, which is correctly titled Redefining Beauty, Embracing Diversity and Sustainability in the Cosmetics Industry, we will be unpacking everything clean in the cosmetics industry, and we have no other than Miss Oyin Onorinde. She's an expert in clean beauty products and cosmetics, and she's otherwise known as the DIY Queen, and she'll tell us why. Oyin, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Ifeoma.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
So let's jump right into it.
Right.
What is a clean beauty product? What is clean? What does that mean?
Okay. Clean beauty products can also be referred to as sustainable beauty. And basically what it means is that you are being intentional about what you have in that kind of product. Mm-hmm. So it means that you're using like non-toxic ingredients in formulating a product, and also you are embracing eco-friendly packaging in what you do. And luckily for us, environmentally packaged product is evolving over the years. So we have things like recyclable packages, we have compostable packages. So all this type of packages are made from are plant-based, and we can replace them with unnecessary packaging like external boxes, wrappers, and things that we don't necessarily need in our product. So, basically we replace them with recyclable packages, right. Basically. So if we look at it this way, that why are we talking about clean beauty business? Over 120 billion pieces of packaging are being produced from cosmetics. And according to statistics, 70% of industry waste comes from cosmetic packaging.
Wow, 70%?
70%. So, we should be concerned, right?
Exactly.
So that is a more reason why we should encourage using things like recyclable packaging, compostable packaging, biodegradable kind of packaging in our products. So those are the things that we look out for. Those are the things that we want everybody to embrace when it comes to clean beauty and sustainable beauty.
Mm-hmm. I'm really impressed with the words that you've used. I'm impressed because I'm happy that finally it has come home. Before now, it seemed like a far and western thing. All of these things talking about global warming or eco-friendly, or you've used words like biodegradable, you've used words like recyclable. So, and from your profile, I see that you've really taken your time to get the right certification in, the beauty industry across board. So I want you to take us on your journey, to where you have come to now. Why was it important to you, right? From the standpoint of, embracing clean cosmetics. Take us on your journey and why this was important to you. Okay,
so I started my business, Ewa Brand. I started, it used to be like a kind of like a part-time side business for me while I was residing in the United States. And, I started the business, funny enough, with selling hair extensions and hair services. And later on, I decided to diversify into clean products like skin products and hair products. So, that has been, the journey. And I would say I'm an advocate for clean beauty. And like I said earlier, clean beauty can also be referred to as sustainable beauty. So why am I passionate about sustainable beauty?
Yes.
And that's because I like to produce products in the right way. I like to make beauty products in the right way.
Okay.
So I emphasize on using non-toxic ingredients in all my products, and I also use eco-friendly packaging in all of my products. So, you know, why is the whole journey? Why is the whole sustainability? Why is it that important? Like I said earlier, cosmetic packaging constitutes the highest number of industry waste.
Right.
Yeah. So, and then we should also be looking at ourselves. How do we want to look like 10 years from now, 15 years from now? You know? So I am really intentional about the kind of things that I apply on my skin, just the way I'm also intentional about the kind of things that goes into my body, such as food. So same is also being intentional about the kind of things I apply on my skin. I mean, 5 years, 10 years from now, I want to look as healthy as possible. So for us, it's not all about you looking beautiful,
right,
for temporarily. You know, it's all about being looking beautiful and also being healthy.
Right.
So that is the idea behind clean beauty and sustainable beauty.
Now, Ewa, I know in the Yoruba parlance means beauty, and that's the name of her business and her beauty products. And aptly so, she is very beautiful. What is a toxin and how do women readily identify? Because you see, I'm so used to certain beauty products,
Right.
and they work. They work. I look
It's
okay.
beautiful, yeah.
So
beautiful.
how do I know that it's toxic?
Right.
Okay.
Okay, so how do you know a product is being toxic? I believe as a brand and also as a beauty entrepreneur, it is our duty to take opportunities as much as possible to talk about some of these ingredients that are toxic to the skin. Okay, so we have ingredients, for example, I would say I don't use things like paraffins, like petroleum jelly on my products. Not necessarily the fact that they are being toxic, but they are not really doing much of a thing to the skin.
Okay.
So there are so many, I was reading that retinol, it's not really good for the skin, that is being like a kind of toxic ingredient, whether it has been, overemphasized or whether studies have shown that truly the retinol is a bad ingredient. We don't have a conclusion yet.
Right.
But there are so many alternatives that we could use instead of retinol. And that brings us to the fact that you have to understand your ingredients. You have to know the kind of ingredient that you should apply and what you should not apply in your formula, in your product. So you know what is actually best. Like for me, I try as much as possible to be transparent and clear when it comes to my sustainable commitments.
Right.
I talk about those things a lot on my page, on my Instagram page, on my YouTube page. I'm always happy to talk about those things because I try to be as transparent and clear as possible. It's our responsibility to know the kind of ingredients to use on the skin. And there are some kind of products that has been discovered, that are being toxic to the skin. And we have, the good thing here is that we have alternatives. We have the plant-based alternatives. Okay. So if you as a consumer, it's at everybody's own good for you to actually read up on all these things. And also you could follow my platform whereby I talk about some of these things. I give out information. I give out free information when it comes to cosmetics and things like that. So, you have to, read labels, like for example, cruelty-free. So my business is a cruelty-free company. So what that means is that no animal testing. So usually when you have a brand that is cruelty-free, you are kind of going to see on the packaging like a kind of animal, animal like picture or something on the packaging that this product is actually cruelty-free. Right. There are so many things that you could actually look out for. There's a website, there's a link, funny enough, whereby you could go, and if you see if you're not so sure of these ingredients in a product, you can easily go to that platform and check if that will be good for your skin or not. And what actually makes it easier for consumers these days is for you to know about the brand. Right. So if you know about the brand that is making that product, then it gives you that, easiness when it comes to your purchasing. So gone are those days when you go to the stores and then you just buy products for the sake of just buying sake. We have to be very choosy. We have to be very picky when it comes to the kind of things that we use. We need to look at the brand, the ingredients, the packaging, and, more information about products before we purchase. So this way, it actually makes it easier for everybody to embrace non-toxic, clean beauty business.
Thank you so much. Let's talk about celebrating diversity. Why is it important? Why do you think it's important, right? Diversity is something that's a catchphrase, a buzzword in the world today. But let's bring it to the beauty industry. Why is it important for us to embrace, diverse beauty standards, particularly for sustainability? Why is it important?
Okay, so it's important for every beauty entrepreneur and every beauty brand to actually embrace diversity and also inclusivity when it comes to the beauty industry. We kind of have like beauty standards, when it comes to beauty, how a beautiful person should be. I feel like we should embrace it because it kind of, helps connect consumers together. Like, for example, when it comes to your advertisements, if you are a consumer and you see somebody that looks like you in a particular marketing campaign, it kind of gives you a kind of relief on when it comes to beauty standards, and also encouraging people from the different shapes, different, skin colors, different hair textures, different face features, come into your campaign. So if you have some kind of, if you based on the kind of the standard, like I said, the beauty standard of what a beautiful person should look like, and then you see all these different people in a marketing campaign, it gives you a kind of relief when it comes to, the brand and things like that. And also when it comes to your colors, I feel like for a successful business, you need marketing campaign. For you to be successful in a business, you definitely need to have one kind of marketing campaign or the other. So I feel like it's going to give you like a broader audience. Yes, it's going to give you like a broader audience because you are not just selling your product to just one kind of, a particular kind of person. You're selling to a man, to a woman, young, old, fair, dark, regardless of your traditions, your culture, your age, your sex. Everybody should embrace the brand. Like I always say, everybody deserves to be beautiful. Everybody deserves to be happy.
I am very proud of you, I must tell you, because you have chosen the hard route of clean beauty. But you must have challenges. What are the challenges and how have you surmounted them to ensure that it remains sustainable, your business? Okay,
so the good thing about being going into sustainability and clean beauty, a lot of people are, in this part of the world are like, what is actually sustainable beauty? What am I being sustainable in my business? But it actually goes more than that, because like I said earlier, I have the passion to always do things in the right way, making beauty products in the right way. So, there are challenges, I would say, like a lot of people do not really understand what it takes or what it means to actually be sustainable. They'll be like, this is, we've been doing this over the years. There are some kind of people that, are being fixated.
Set in their ways.
Yes, set in their ways on how they do things. But, it's beyond that. It's beyond you being healthy. We have this, some kind of certain kind of diseases that happen a lot in people. And like I said earlier, that there are some toxic ingredients that are slow killers. And, the best route is just to go to being sustainable. You know what I mean? So, like, being sustainable is also very easy, funny enough. I'm sure we must have heard of reuse, reduce, and recycle. It's actually very easy because sustainable packaging are actually cheaper. Recyclable packaging are actually cheaper than the traditional, packaging.
let's talk about standards in the cosmetics industry.
Right.
I'm super proud of what you do and how you have managed to staying on the clean path.
Right.
But I think it's important that we empower women, consumers and entrepreneurs alike, right? Starting with the industry, to truly redefine beauty and embrace sustainability and diversity, but sustainability. What measures do you think the cosmetics industry can put in place?
Okay, so we could start by, doing a lot of training. Like I said, advocate for sustainable beauty. And I take every opportunity that I get in my own way to talk about sustainability, to talk about clean beauty business. So we can do that by doing more of like trainings.
Okay.
Like there needs to be like a lot of trainings. Like for me, the best way I feel I could make my own contribution to the beauty industry, that is what I do when it comes to DIY. Do yourself, do it yourself, your own skincare product. So basically all you need to do is to follow the recipes, and then you can do it yourself in your own, at the comfort of your home. Let's say, for example, I want to make like hair conditioner, for example. I tell you everything I had into the conditioner. If I'm going to be using like shea butter, if I'm going to be using cocoa butter, whatever butter, oils, ingredients, surfactants, emulsifier, whatever
How
ingredients.
do I find those things?
Yes.
So you are a professional. So
Right.
where does Ifoma go to find?
We sell them actually.
Oh.
So if you want to get those ingredients, all you need to do is to just buy the ingredients from us, and then you can make it yourself at the comfort of your home. Ensure that we have the right set of ingredients and we source them from, reputable suppliers in the beauty industry. There are so many, websites, there are so many links and pages that you can go to read up about all these things, and things like that when it comes to sustainable beauty. And, I, for one, I have a brand that gives a lot of information about clean beauty business.
Right.
So if you need any information when it comes to clean beauty business, then you need to follow my page, or you go to my YouTube page, then you are going to be learning more.
But are there like standards in the beauty industry? So are there bodies, for instance? I know there's NAFDAC and there is Standards Organization of Nigeria, but are there other organizations that check, products and things just to ensure, that...
Yeah, when it comes to Nigeria, we really do not have too many organizational parastatals or bodies that, that encourages clean beauty.
Okay.
I think we have just NAFDAC. So if you in Nigeria are going to be selling your beauty products, you need to get your product registered first. Do not sell any product to the society. Do not sell any products anywhere if you don't have NAFDAC registration. Right. So that is for sure.
Right.
So there are so many. We have a Cosmos. Those are like international, like organizational standards. That ensure that sustainability is being implemented amongst beauty brands. Right. So we have EcoSat. We have so many of them. I think we have more of them in the European countries. Right. Yes, more in France. Yes, in the western side of things, in the US. There are so many, standards. As an entrepreneur, I think that you need to be in one of these organizational bodies, that keeps the standard, and they actually have so much power on your beauty products. So imagine, yes, it has so much power. So if for example, if I'm Cosmos certified and I put it on my brand, then it has a lot of authenticity to my brand, and it has a lot of power to my brand, because those bodies are worldwide,
world-renowned, and they don't joke with their
standards. They don't joke with their standards. In fact, they even give you information tips on when it comes to ingredients, ingredients that is Cosmos certified, EcoSat certified, that you could use it for your brands. I go to some of these websites sometimes just a way to checking on, what is actually going on in the clean beauty industry.
Right.
So we have those standards in place, and they carry a lot of power when it comes to beauty businesses.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, ladies, you heard that. For those of you who are entrepreneurs, and for those of you who are even consumers, that there are certain global bodies whose standards are truly standards. And if you check the body of a product and it is CSO, you said? Cosmos, certified, then you know that it truly is a product of standard. It's been truly insightful speaking to Oyin, but I have one last question for her. Let's look at future trends.
Okay.
Future trends.
All right.
What would you say you envisage as the future of the cosmetics industry in Nigeria? And in terms of sustainability.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. So the future is very bright, in the beauty industry. There'll be a lot of technology, lots of innovation when it comes to the beauty industry. And, there are so many techniques that a lot of people are already implementing into their business, whereby I was looking at one whereby you could take your container. You don't necessarily need to buy a product from that company. You can take your container to them, and then they refill their product in your own container. Wow. So the future for beauty industry is actually, is very bright. I see more younger entrepreneurs, from the younger generation actually embracing clean beauty business, because this generation are actually more passionate and also very inquisitive, and also, they also want to know. They are also intentional, rather. I want to say that they are also intentional when it comes to their skin and the kind of things that is being applied in the products and things they're adding into their skin. So the future of beauty business is actually, very good. And I see sustainability taking a bigger role in this industry. New strategies on how I can eliminate some of all these unnecessary packaging. Eco-friendly packages, biodegradable packages, those are the things that are going to be coming in place, and a lot of people are going to be embracing this. People from the younger generation are going to be embracing this. So the future of cosmetics is actually very good.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, Oyin. Ladies, remember what she said. I will call them the 3 R's. Reuse, reduce, recycle. So the future is bright. You've heard from Oyin Onorinde, the DIY queen. Follow her on Instagram and go to her YouTube page to learn the recipes for your own beauty products. It's been a pleasure hosting you on Transform Her. Please stay tuned for our coaching segment, which comes up next. Welcome to today's coaching segment on Transform Her. Now, we've been on a series studying executive presence, but by popular demand, we are going to digress or take a break and discuss a very fundamental topic for effective leadership. And this is the concept of time. You can tell by now that I do not agree with African time. Time is time. And today we're going to be looking at timeliness as an attribute of excellent or effective leadership. But why is timeliness important in leadership? Well, to begin with, time is the only currency you have to exchange for whatever. And you must value time, because time lost can never ever be regained. And so what does a timely leader connote? Or what does timeliness in leadership depict? First of all, it shows that you have respect for the people you are dealing with, whether they are internal or external stakeholders. It also shows integrity. I've mentioned before on the show that sadly, to a large number of people, integrity simply means the absence of fraud. But if you are not on time, if you miss deadlines, or you are a habitual latecomer, then you are lacking in integrity. Another thing that timeliness shows in leadership is that you have an organized mind. It also shows trust and productivity. It boosts team morale. It shows discipline in a leader, but most importantly, it ensures, or it is the starting point for developing and building an excellent culture in your team. So what happens when a leader is on time or values time? First off is you find that you become more focused. You find that you influence your team and stakeholders alike. If a boss gets to work at 8 a.m. in the morning, do you think that people will walk in or waltz in at 9 o'clock? But if it's the sort of leader who gets in at 9, 10 every day, then your team just sort of gauges and watches out and says, he's usually here by 9, so it'll be okay if resumption time is 8, but I get to work at 8:30. I'll be there before him anyway. Another thing that timeliness produces is very great respect. People respect you as somebody who keeps to time and actually make the extra efforts to show or to ensure that whenever they're dealing with you, they are on time. It shows orderliness, clarity. Most importantly, you have the right reputation as a leader who is respectful, mindful of others, focused, and wants to do his bidding as a leader. We will continue with this very important topic of time because it's inexhaustive, but I'll do my best to tell you all about why time is important, or timeliness is an important attribute of successful leadership. Until next time, thank you very much.